Welcome everyone to another episode. I want to welcome my newest guest. You might recognize her as Pwnytail or Megan from Tipsy Bartender. Welcome, Megan. Woo!
Hey Alex, happy to be here. I really like your room decor. It's quite charming. Yeah, it's good.
What? That stuff? That's just that came with the house. I don't know. Hey, what are we gonna review today?
Today we're gonna review Super Adventure Pals.
Super Adventure Pals was an indie adventure game released by Armor Games in 2012. It's completely free to play online and you can find it nearly anywhere if you look for it. The story is the hero and his giraffe friend get their pet rock stolen by a villain. Yes, you heard me right. You're on an adventure to save your pet rock. This game is clearly inspired by Adventure Time, at least in the art style and presentation. I could be completely wrong, but damn it, look at the comparison of these two protagonists from both titles. Both adventure-loving dudes traveling with a yellow-themed companion, Toasty! Characters and stages themselves heavily reflect the overall theme and style of Adventure Time, even down to the chipper music. The game even plays much like Adventure Time, the game that was released on the DS. Is this a bad thing? Hell nah, I love that game. This is just more of the good stuff. Bring it on!
I really enjoyed playing this game. It's consistent in its level design and it makes it very easy to navigate around the map. I really love that you can replay the levels and always get rewarded at the end, which makes it all the more satisfying. I mean, it obviously doesn't take itself seriously considering the foundation plot of the game, but it never gets to the point where you feel like you're playing a children's game. Sure, it has, cute animals and cheery music, but I really like its overall gender neutrality. I never got the vibe that this was made more for girls or guys.
That said, this is a short game. 3 areas, 5 levels, each holding 5 stages and a boss at the end of each area. The stages do a great job introducing new obstacles without having to directly tell you how to respond to each introduction. The game gradually ramps up the difficulty further on in the game, but not to a point of frustration. Here's some helpful pointers. When you level up your defenses once and the rest go to your weapon. There are plentiful of health potions all throughout the levels, and those are basically extra lives, so you don't need high defenses at all. Also, purchase the Rainbow Shot, Magnet, and Treasure Booster. Those 3 items can be bought within the first 2 towns using your crystals you find at the end of replayed levels.
Okay, there are 2 things I see as a con about this game. First, the glitches. Oh man, I can't tell you how many times my games were totally trashed because I was teleported out into the ocean of the main map and couldn't get back on land. I read up on it and apparently it's been an ongoing issue. It totally takes you out of playing an otherwise great game. But the first time it happened, I refreshed the page and all my things had been saved, so I figured if it happened again, I'd just refresh. And apparently, that was a one-time thing, because every other time I had to start completely from scratch again. Now, don't get me wrong, I started to get really good at this game in virtually no time, but man, it was unbelievably frustrating. It would also teleport me while I was in levels. I'd be at the beginning, take a step forward, and end up completely off the screen up high on a patch of grass for no good reason. Dang it! The second is that the level ups make you feel so totally hardcore, and upgrading to these cool looking weapons makes you think it'd take less than 2 hits to kill those stupid purple jellyfish things. Seriously, what is that? Why do they have to take 2 hits no matter how high your level up is? I'm being finicky at this point, but those little buggers should be over and done with after the first swing of my axe or sword.
I haven't actually run into any of those glitches. I wonder if downloading the game has a higher success rate over playing it off the webpage server. My one complaint is the sliding maneuver on the walls. You can jump between the walls, Ninja Gaiden style, but this makes it difficult in certain instances where you have to drop between obstacles and you get stuck on the freaking wall. Armor games are usually really good with their releases. The animation at the beginning and end is wonky and looks cheap. The dialogue between the characters in the game is pretty entertaining for the most part, so it does make up for the really bad presentation at the beginning. At first, the game has you traveling between the first 2 towns to do certain quests, and then it drops the idea at the 3rd town. I genuinely enjoyed going back between the towns to see what changes happened due to me intervening. Granted, there's only little things that happened, but I still really liked it.
As someone who typically goes for first-person shooters and puzzle games, I love the challenges SAP provides in both active combat as well as the problem-solving peppered all over the place. Now, despite it being released in 2012, I think it's a game that you can come back to when you're tired of those overhyped mega money games. It's friendly, fun, and free to play, from the novice to the intermediate gamer.
I enjoyed playing this game. It was somewhat challenging, enough to the point that I enjoyed playing it for the short time frame that it filled. It's not a long game, and it's blissfully short. I actually enjoyed that it concluded when it did, or else it probably would have hit the point where I just stopped having fun with it. It was dangerously close, but not too close, if you catch what I'm saying. Thanks for joining me on today's review, Pwnytail. Would you mind doing me a favor before you leave?
Yeah?
Would you mind doing an impression of Sky for me?
Oh gosh. Sure, why not? And there you have it! Tipsy Bartender!
Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in for another episode of NAWK Toons. I want to give a special thanks to Pwnytail for joining me today. It was great putting this episode together with her. Here's a link to her incredible cover of Monster, and don't forget to follow her on Twitter. Thanks again for helping me out with this, Megan. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw and want to support the show. Share via all social media to help out as well as commenting. Let Megan know how much you enjoyed her as a guest so I might be able to talk her into coming back again to review another game. Finally, click here for my last crossover with Miss Bunny Bell in Zombies Ate My Neighbors, otherwise known as Game Over. It's an inside joke. Shut up!
Just collecting your victims and then